Good morning, friends. See, in the last few lectures, we studied the design up of the springs and design up of the lip springs. As per the syllabus, design up of the lip springs problems are not mentioned in the syllabus, so that's why I am not taking any problems related with the design up of the springs. Uh, So, in the syllabus, there is no mentions about the problems related with the design of the lip springs. So, that's why I am skipping the problems related with the design of the lip springs, and only I taken what is the constructions and what is the design procedures for the lip springs. So, today we will see some of the important theoretical parts which is remaining above the springs that I am explaining. After that, we will see what we can do for the remaining springs. We already covered 5 units. So, we will see another some theoretical parts above the or numerical problems related with the fluctuating stress. So, today we will see torsional spring. Under static loading. So, we already studied design above the helical compression springs. So, that can be generally the stresses are compressive stresses or bending stresses, means helical compression springs, compressive springs, and design above the tension springs, that is not given in our syllabus. So, that's why we only studied design above the helical compression springs. So, in the torsion springs, shape above the torsion springs on both sides, hooks provided, and this is circular type. So, the mean diameters of the torsion springs is more, and this is one ends and other ends. So, this is solid. This cross section is the solids, means the shape similar to helical compression springs. So, shape generally shape generally circular sections, and it's this is suppose the front view, and this is mean diameters, means average mean diameters, and this is the small d is the wire diameters, and it is seen likewise. So here is one hook can be fixed and other ends hooks means yes for using its applications means generally for this type of the springs use in the releasing of pressures or for releasing pressures of wall door hinges for door and doors and windows for opening and closing. Opening and closing, these are the applications of the such type of the torsional springs. So generally we use for mechanical means here for releasing the pressures of the wall if the compressed pressures means for the lifting up of the some of the weights, and for releasing means for unloading the weights you can release the pressures above the cylinders. So that's why because of the releasing above the pressures above the oil which are present in the cylinders, unloading above the loads. For such purpose also we can use torsional springs. The stresses induced in the torsional springs, that stresses are bending stresses, bending stresses. Likewise in the helical compression springs the stresses are on direct stresses and torsional stresses. But in this torsional springs, so this springs name indicates, self indicates the torsional stresses induced, and the bend means this is the bending stresses. We can torsional stresses we can calculate it by using formula of the curve theories, bending stress. By using that we can find out so how much is the intensity of the stresses induced in the torsion springs. So generally the torsion springs, here torque is applied around the axis of the springs. So generally torque is applied because of the twisting. So here so this ends may becomes nearer. So because of that torque actings on the axis above the cylinders, and because of that here is the strain energy stored in the springs, and when we releasing the by operating above the pedals, so we can release the stresses induced in the springs, means that is the energy which is stored in the energy that we can use, means that is convergence of the potential energy in terms of the kinetic energy. So generally torque is applied on the springs, and the stresses induced, So that can be calculated by using formula C into mb into y divided by I. So I equal to pi by 64 d squares d raised to 4. D is the wire diameters and y is the distance of extreme fibers from its you can say stage means from neutral axis. So here's neutral axis, so y equal to d by 2. So that's why this is k. This formula becomes mb into d divided by 2 and pi by 64 d raised to 4. So that's why this becomes 32 mb divided by pi into d cube. So by using this you can calculate intensity of the bending stress, sigma b equal to. Now these k factors, this is the stress concentration factors. For stress concentration factor at inner radius, means at inner radius or inner surface of wire surface. This is wire surface, so that you can calculate by using formula 4c squares minus c minus 1 divided by 4c into c minus 1. So by using this formula you can calculate value of the inner stress induced and value of the outer surface, that you can calculate by using formula 4c squares. Instead of the minus c, this plus c minus 1 divided by 4c c minus 1. By using this formula you can calculate outer means the stresses induced in the outer surface, means this stress concentration factors at inner surface and outer surface. This O stands for outer surface and I stands for inner surface. And by using this formula you can calculate the what is the intensity of the bending stresses by using the curve theories in the torsional springs. So this small part of the theory may be asked during the examinations. So that's why I explained this. Next is the nipping. So this is also nipping. This word is commonly used in the leaf springs. So what is mean about the leaf springs nippings? As you know, this is the master leaf. The radius of curvature of the master leaf is greater as compared to radius of curvature of the graduated leaves. Suppose this is graduated leaves, and before assembling or before assembly of the these leaves, now as you know, here the pressures or the loads is the P by 2, and here this load is the P by 2, and here's so this is the radius curvature of the master leaves, and this is the radius curvature of the, so this is PB total, and here's this is PB, and this is pressures, means this is PB divided by 2. Now this clearance between master leaf and this is called C. So this is the, and this is called as a nip. As you know, the strength of full leaves means this is for full, this is 50% greater than graduated leaves. So this is sigma B is 1.5 times for full, and this is greater than sigma B graduated leaf. Now for uniform distributions of the in all leaves, so the initially, so bending up of the leaves, initial bending up of the leaves, initial bending of all leaves for uniform distributions of stresses. So this process are called as nipping, because this is the nip. See, is the nip is the, so before assembling up of the lip, and after assembling, so this is the bending up of the master lips. So this radius curvature above the master lip is greater as compared to the graduate leaves. After that, here's this another graduated leaves. So this radius curvature again is smaller as compared to previous graduated leaves. So means the radius above the curvatures above the small graduated leaves is very small, or is small as compared to the graduated leaves, and the radius of curvatures above the graduated leaves is small as compared to radius curvatures above the master leaves or full screws, full leaves. So that's why for uniform distributions above the stresses in the leaves, the methods which are used, that is the bending up of the leaves. So before assembling up of the leaf springs, so that process are called as nipping, or another names, common names is nippings, and next name is the equalizing stresses. Equalizing stresses also called. So this is the difference between the radius above the curvatures above the nips. So this procedure are called as nipping above the springs, and this is generally for leaf springs. So now you understand what is the meaning of the nippings. So this is what is the meaning of the nippings for equalizing the stresses induced in the leaves. So the likewise preloaded above the springs, same procedures, yes, pre-bending above the leaves before assembling above the leaf springs. So that process are called as nippings, and this is the difference between the radius of curvatures above the full leaves and graduated leaves, and this is the difference between. So another one important terms that is related with the our chapter is the short pinning methods. So this is the short pinning. So what is mean of the short pinning? P-E-N-N-I-N-G. Short pinnings. So in the short pinnings, because of the springs, so as you know, in the springs, compressive stresses induced in the compressive torsional stresses induced in the springs. So because of the due to the fluctuating loads, means the fatigue loading may be occurs. The strength of the fatigue loading is less as compared to the strength of the yield strength or ultimate strength of the wire materials. Try to understand. So what is the meaning of the fatigue loadings? So fatigue loading is nothing but the endurance strength of the wire material is small as by using empirical relations 0.18 times the ultimate strength, sigma EW equal to, and for yield strength 0.45 times sigma ultimate stress, that is the permissible yield stress or allowable tensile stress, that is equal to 0.45 times sigma ut, and for endurance strength 0.18 times than the ultimate tensile strength. So the ultimate endurance strength is less than yield strength, and due to the if the any crack occurs in the during the manufacturing of the springs, and that crack may be propagate during the fatigue loadings, and that fatigue because during the fatigue loadings, if the any crack occurs in the springs, so that can be propagate, that can be increase, and sudden failure of the materials or sudden failure of the spring may be occurs. So for avoid that, we can use this is the for inducing the compressed what you can say residual compressive stasis induced, means for it to increase residual compressive strength of material, or you can say in component. So this short meaning is the methods to increase residual compressive strength of the materials or components. So that depends on the size of the balls, size of ball, velocity of air striking, etc. So this such type of the small balls, so by using air velocity, means by using pressurized airs, so that can be strikes on the components or on the springs. So because of the striking of the such type of the small balls, means infinite balls striking continuously, that is on the vessels which is in the vessels which are component are stored, and that can be rotated, and this continuously striking up of the small balls on the components. So because of that, the residual compressive strength of the materials that will increase. So because of the increasing of the residual compressive strength, so this is the in the improvement in the compressive strength of the materials. So because of the this is the short pinning methods. So that's why chances of the fatigue means improvement in the fatigue failure. So for, as we know, fatigue failures. So fatigue failures means because of the fluctuating stresses. So fatigue failures may be occurs. So fatigue failures means this any small cracks, so that propagate, so that will increase, and without any indications, that is the failure of the components. So for the improvement of the fatigue fractures, so we can use the short pinning methods. So you maybe studied these short pinning methods in the manufacturing process, because this process also useful to improve the strength of the product. This is used in the manufacturing process also. So these short pinning methods which can be used for to increase the fatigue strength of the springs, or to increase means the residual stresses or of the springs. So these short pinning methods, this is the one of the important operations. So this is the our last operations which is performed after manufacturing of the springs. So this short pinning methods operation that is performed on the springs. So after that, inspections above the springs, and after inspections above the springs, according to the grade, shorting above the springs. So this is the last articles related with our these chapters, design above the springs. So that's why today I declares means this is the unit 6th is completed, and in the next class we will see some of the important points related with the fatigue or fluctuating loads. So that's why today I will stop here, and we will continue some of the portions above the important portions above the unit 3rd, that is the fluctuating stresses. Thank you.